Surrender has the new engine block put back in, and the valve covers have been swapped over, and obviously the timing components. So what's next?
Bell housing bolts are not put in yet. Engine mount bolts are not put in yet. Then it's just accessories and intake.
The power steering pump is back on, and it uses two 13mm bolts on the top and one 10mm on the bottom. The bell housing bolts are all back on. They're all 13mm, I believe. Johnny's making progress on the alternator. It looks like two 13s on the bottom and two 10s on the top. That's simple. The AC pump is in, and that's three 13mm bolts. Is that correct, Andrew?
Yep.
One, two at the bottom, and one at top. Making progress on the wiring. Johnny's hooking up the charging wire on the alternator, and the main wire harness is in place, including the loom that goes back to the transmission and the O2 sensors. There's a connector back there, one right under my finger.
It's tightening.
This one goes on the intake.
My brain's backwards.
Johnny's brain is backwards. What other connectors do we have? We have that. And that.
So I got up to the house.
There's another mouse.
And this is B.
We are rapidly approaching startup. We have the serpentine belt, the intake manifold on, throttle body is connected, all the fuel injectors and coil packs are connected. For the most part, all the other strange connections on the electrical wise are on the other side, driver's side. So there's that throttle body, this vacuum line, and a vacuum line that goes behind to the brake booster, well, between the manifold and then to the brake booster, I believe. If I could figure out a camera angle, I'd show you. Yep, there it is. That tees off there, and then to the back of the intake manifold. I think I see, yes, there's a connector in the back of the manifold towards the passenger side that we still have to connect. We'll have to figure out where that goes, but any disconnected thing like that will really ruin our day and confuse us. So, and we lost one of the bolts that holds the intake on, so we'll have to find a suitable replacement for that. We are almost there. We have our cold air intake installed, serpentine belt is installed, all the coolant lines are installed except for where did that go? Oh, the reservoir hose. We have power. We don't have power steering, we don't have cooling fans. We're not going to go too crazy connecting everything permanently until we know that the engine is good and that it's going to stay in there for the foreseeable future. But we did take care of the electrical connector in the back. It was just another one of the knock sensors, so there are two on top of each other behind the intake manifold on the passenger side. We have the mass airflow sensor. This vacuum line, battery, I think that is everything. And we do have a fresh oil filter, and I put 6 quarts of oil in it. The O2 sensors are connected, the exhaust is connected, correct?
Yep.
All the injectors and coils are connected. At this point, I'm just kind of doing a sanity check. We're cleaning up tools, so we'll be back after we do some more cleanup. We did go ahead and disconnect the fuel injector, so we're going to crank it over, give the chance for the oil to circulate, and priming the fuel system. We have lights. The battery is fully charged, so it should be able to handle the extra cranking.
Hey! Here's the hardware for holding the coils in. And the old spark plugs.
Oh, perfect. So did we do those?
That came with
Let's do those now.
No, we're good.
Okay.
I'm not driving it.
Here. Will it crank? Nope.
I was making sure.
Oh.
Sounds like the fuel pump's caught up.
Cool.
Oh.
Does it not want to crank?
I wasn't seeing any any oil pressure, but it wasn't spinning very fast.
Yeah.
Why don't you plug those in? Problems.
So we're doing a leak check.
That was
What was that?
being a derp. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure. I think something came out right when I was putting this hose in a couple minutes ago.
Okay. Yeah, no fluids leaking otherwise. No
I'll
bad
leave this-
smells. No electrical, no wires burning.
I'll leave this right here, and if you want to just check under there for me,
Yeah.
that helps a little bit. I'll offer something, let me know, I'll stop it.
Okay.
Actually, either way, I'm going to stop it after a couple seconds. You ready?
Yep. Did it die?
No,
Oh,
it doesn't have coolant, so
okay. That sounds awesome.
it does.
Still no leaks. Alright, let's add some coolant. Let's get this thing on the road. So we had the intake off in order to get the fan down. And that is
Oh, let's see. A little bit off there. There we go. There we go. I think there's 2 bolts that go here on each side.
2 on each side. Oh yeah.
One on each
One
side.
there
There you go.
and one down there. And then that big old connector.
Click.
And then this, I believe, goes here. Power steering. And then the reservoir is those 2 bolts. So I took the microphone out of the iPhone, I listened to the video at the last startup, and it seemed to distort, so this ought to sound better. smells like it's running very rich.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe those injectors aren't stuck.
Stay tuned for our next video where we get the engine running correctly and take it for a test drive.